Hi there, it's Julian here. Just got off the Carnival Conquest and I figured while it's still fresh in my mind, I'll do the official debrief and unwrap. I'm sitting literally directly opposite the cruise terminal. I can pan around just for a second and you can see the ship right over there. So let me just start with embarkation. Got to the port a little after around about lunchtime, so I think the big crowd was through already, so embarkation was extremely smooth. I think generally Carnival does a decent check-in process. It's quite efficient. The rooms opened up a little before 1:30. I think normally it's 1:30. It was about just maybe 10 past 1. The rooms were available, so that was a bonus. The ship was close to capacity, and what I would say, if I always start with the positives, I would say the fact that the ship was close to capacity, but it didn't really feel that crowded. The only time it felt crowded was on embarkation. I think Carnival Conquest is known for having pretty crowded Lido deck on embarkation, and it was no different to what you would have seen on other videos. People were having a lot of fun, but I think they were still well behaved. So the Lido deck on embarkations felt crowded, buffet a little bit crowded on embarkation day, but outside of that, the ship never really felt overly crowded. It's a smaller ship by modern standards. It's an older ship, and I think by modern standards it'll be considered on the smaller side. The benefit of that is it's very easy to navigate, and I found within a day I could figure my way around. There are a couple of dead ends on the ship where you cannot walk from the front all the way to the back or vice versa. So like for example, if you're in the buffet right at the main dining room right at the back on the deck 3, you can walk all the way through. You got to go to deck 4 and then over, things like that. But it's very easy to figure out within a day. I doubt you'll be lost. I would recommend anyone going on the ship, you got to temper your expectations based on the price you pay. So the Carnival Conquest is one of the cheapest trips you're going to take on Carnival price wise. So what you pay for is what you get. You're not going to be getting a big mega ultra modern ship where everything's perfect and expect to pay rock bottom price. So the cruise was cheap, and I would say in terms of the value for money scale, it's really not bad. Food in the buffet is okay. The food in the main dining rooms are okay. All the other complimentary foods, Guy's Burger Joint, the Blue Iguana, all decent quality. And if you consider what they charge price-wise, it's actually really good value for money. The Carnival Conquest does have a reputation for being a bit of a booze cruise. So yeah, the crowd on board is there to have a good time. And if you are the kind of person that does not like that, you want quiet and you want people to be soft spoken, not going crazy, and then that's the wrong ship for you. But if you're a younger person, or if you're young at heart and you want to go out and have a good time, the Carnival Conquest is a great ship. It's got a bad reputation, and I've seen many videos where there's been fights and altercations and that. But if you consider the fact that they put 2,000-3,000 people through every cruise, they do 2 cruises per week. So on a weekly basis, they're putting through at least 5,000 people, 20,000 plus per month. So what's that on a year? 250,000 people going through, and there's a couple of fights a year. Considering most people have got a drink package, a lot of people are drinking heavily and partying hard, a couple of fights over 250,000 people is actually testament to the fact that they're not nearly as badly behaved as the internet will make you believe. Yes, the people were loud, yes, they were having a good time, but I actually think, considering the number of people, the younger demographic, the amount of booze that was flowing, they were actually pretty well behaved. So I think the Carnival Conquest gets a slightly bad rep or bad reputation because of that. Overall, if you want to have a good time, you don't want to spend a lot of money, especially when you're cruising, I'd say go have a look, check it out, see what it's like, and you may just be able to find something that's really, really decent and good, and you'll get some good value for money. if it is your first cruise, you got to understand that this is the introduction, this is the bargain basement type pricing, and I would definitely recommend that you don't think that all cruises are like that. And what I mean by that is, talking on the negative, you're going to find the customer service maybe isn't as on point as you would get on a high-end cruise line. The staff, they do their job and they do it well enough. But if you go on a higher end cruise, higher price points, you're going to get more of that 5-star type service. Whereas on the Carnival Conquest, it's a little bit more basic. But again, what you pay for is what you get. The ship itself is older. I actually like that old aesthetic. It's very classical. And some people like it, some people don't. I know the newer ships have got a very, very modern, sleek aesthetic. I like that too, but I'm really okay with the old world crown molding and the fancy plaster work on the ceilings and on the walls, that sort of thing. I really like it. So I felt the architecture was nice, and you know, Carnival's food overall is pretty solid, especially on the complimentary dining side. Who doesn't like Guy's Burger Joint? The pizza's pretty solid. Blue Iguana is solid. They've got the deli. They've got a lot of things. So ate well, enjoyed the trip, and I would recommend it for someone that wants to try out cruising for the first time. They don't want to break the bank and realize that that's introductory. What you pay for is what you get, and it's good value for money. So I'd recommend it. And I'd give the Carnival Conquest a decent, solid rating. I went in with low expectations. I think it exceeded my expectations because I was understanding that it is a basic cruise. So that's my summary for the Carnival Conquest. It went to dry dock very, very recently. So this cruise was right at the end of February 2026. I think it came out of dry dock February 20th, 2026. So it was a very minor kind of an upgrade in terms of dry docks. They're not like we did a major overhaul. So bear that in mind, but it is fresh out of dry dock, and if you want to give it a try, feel free to contact us, and happy to help you book a trip on the Carnival Conquest. Take care.